It's 11 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and you know what that means? It's time for another Sunday Sinfest. Weeks just fly by. Weekend even faster. All of a sudden it's Sunday and you're prepping a ʰᵒᵛᶦᵈ video. Because, of course, that's become sort of my duty to the world. To follow everything this clown's doing at this stage. And I just look at it sometimes and I think, why did I carve this niche for myself? Why did this work out when nothing else did? And then I remember the power of lolcows and the amazing communal nature of this subset of the atheist community at large, the greater atheist diaspora that I've found myself in. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at Kent's sermon from this morning, which just wrapped up as I pressed play. I planned this knowing his videos are usually about 30 minutes roughly. And seeing that he was going at 10:30, I'm like, ooh, 11 o'clock, perfect start time. And right before I press play, I go and check and see that, oh, yep, it ended. So we're getting this as fresh as we can without watching it live. So, don't have anything else for the preamble. Got a couple of people in the audience, so I know this baby's live. We're going to do the button clicking that gets us. I hate this minimize thing that Rumble does. Just, what is that? But we're going to crack right into this. Let's go.
Good morning, folks. ʰᵒᵛᶦᵈ here in the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland and Genesis Baptist Church in Lenox, Alabama. It is May the 11th, 2025. Happy Mother's Day. Today we're going to be in Psalm.
I'm genuinely surprised he acknowledged it. I really am.
Psalm 106, dead center in the Bible. It should be the book of Psalms, if you got the right kind of Bible. And find chapter 106. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're on a bunch of different channels. Let's see, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, X. You said there's an old Twitter account, or is that an old X account, or which one? Same thing. Okay.
Oh man, I'm kind of pleased here that Kent is like, that he's like X. There's an old Twitter, like he just didn't fumble over it. He just nailed it. Good job, Kent.
There's an old account. If it doesn't have the blue check mark, then you're on the wrong one. Somebody else started one for us and stole it from us or something, didn't they? Or left with it, or we don't have access to it. So get on the other one. It's got the blue check mark.
You know, when the premium services for Twitter, then X came before I left, I paid for them primarily to have the blue check mark, like a badass, because it was a matter of like just I deserved it. Damn it. I thought it made me feel good, damn it, before the site went to shit. Anyway, so I want to make the joke, this motherfucker pays for Twitter, but, you know, I did that, so, and people would say that crap, and it's like, no, you're paying for premium services on top of using the base features, da-da-da-da-da. But still, it's just kind of funny. That's all.
Okay, so on Twitter, let's see, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, get our app. ʰᵒᵛᶦᵈ.tv. You can click one of them buttons and something will happen. Okay. So happy Mother's Day. Let's see. Like our channel, share it, subscribe it, do all that stuff. Make a comment for Al Gore's rhythm or something. Okay.
Okay. You know, he's making the same dumb jokes, but Kent's pretty solid this morning. Far more coherent than he has been the past couple of nights. I guess Saturday resting did him good, although he was probably still out barking orders and giving tours and doing who knows what, which is, you know, fine. It's his prerogative, but he got some rest, or he took his meds this morning.
And I guess it does something there. Subscribe, share.
Oh, I compliment him, and then he kind of rumbles off like that. Rambles off. Rumble, meanders through the rumbling rocks. I don't know. You know that one spot in Legend of Zelda, Death Mountain, where all the rocks are falling down? It's like that. And I'm talking the NES one, you know, so we're talking some Famicom action here. I ain't talking no Breath of the Wild, Blue Yonder, or whatever the hell these kids are playing these days. No. That OG stuff. Northeast Peninsula is the secret. Yeah.
Share the message with others. Okay. Happy Mother's Day. Listen, my mother, Ione Espinus, married my dad, obviously. And she was, her dad her dad, Ole Espinus, built a lot of houses in La Crosse, Wisconsin. My mom was a Lutheran.
La Crosse, Wisconsin. There has never been a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Seriously, that is the Midwest's Florida. La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Missionary to the Jews, believe it or not. And she led my dad to the Lord on their first date.
I'm sure she did. I don't think that's the story you're supposed to be telling people, though, because I don't think it means what you think it means there, Kent.
It was a patriotic thing in World War II to write to as many GIs as you could to encourage them. All the girls were writing letters to the GIs, hey, thank you for protecting us. And she wrote lots of letters to lots of GIs. One of them was my dad, a sergeant in the Marines, World War II, fighting in the Japanese theater. Well, when he came back home from the war, only survivor of his platoon, he was a sergeant.
Always has to add that in there.
Sergeant in the Marines. He called her and started trying to date her. She tried to fix him up with all of her friends. She said, oh, hey, you got to take Judy out and take Sally out. And finally, she went on a date with him up to Granddad Bluff. If you folks on La Crosse know about where Granddad Bluff is. And she led him to the Lord on their first date. But she still tried to fix him up with everybody else. Get rid of this guy, but he was persistent. And she said, he chased me until I caught him. A great way to put it. She was an awesome mom, a good influence on me. The Bible says we're seeing...
my ass was about to say, why is he rambling on about his mother? Then I remembered, which he acknowledged, that it's Mother's Day. But see, he didn't segue at all into it. He didn't say, by the way, since it's Mother's Day, I want to talk about my mom. He didn't do that. So I was left clueless because aside from some very particular days that I find personally important, I care nothing for any kind of holiday, be it an actual one or one the greeting card companies made up, to a point where I wouldn't know they were happening unless if it wasn't for the fact that, I'm exposed to media related to it, promotional materials at work or somebody bringing it up.
Hebrews chapter 12. Wherefore we're seeing we are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and run with patience the race set before us. I believe Mom's up in heaven watching me and has been for years. You got some...
Oh, yes, I do notice that. He never goes into those details. You think he might just once in a while, but,
Godly, anybody, ancestors that were saved, they're up in heaven watching. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yep, and they're very disappointed. But that's their fault, not mine.
I'm coming home. See you as soon as my job down here is done.
Crocodile tears, hovin'.
Not quite done yet. Ezekiel said, as is the mother, so is the daughter. Your daughters are probably going to turn out like you, Mom. Is that good or bad? Thou art thy mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband. She hates her husband and her children. Whew. And thou art the sister of thy sisters, which they hate their husbands and children. Wow. Let's see. Mother, daughter, dress lookalikes. Mom, you want your daughters to turn out like you? Are you teaching them Proverbs 31 traits of a godly woman? The Hebrew alphabet has 22 letters in it, and Proverbs 31, starting with verse 10, has 22 characteristics of the perfect woman. Read those, memorize those, okay? They teach you how to treat a husband, how to get up early and get to work hard. You get up early? You work? How to keep your house, how to spend money wisely, how to love the Lord. In Timothy, he said, the aged women should be the teachers of good things. Ladies, teach the younger women. They don't know this naturally, okay? That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. You have to teach them to love.
From Tubian, if Kent's parents made him what he is, that doesn't say much for them. But then maybe they were good people, but he went bad later. No, I'm at a point, given how ingrained this stuff seems to be in Kent and the particularities of things, he's not a very independent person at all. He very much absorbs the behaviors and such of others. His entire shtick with preaching just consists of an amalgamation of a couple other pastors, a couple other young earth conspiracy nuts. And the rest of his behaviors are and jokes and stuff are very stereotypical boomer stuff. Nothing seems original about him at all, to a point where I am fairly certain his entire just shitty attitude and commanding nature is explicitly because of his parents. And his desire to do whatever he can to not be responsible for anything is equally caused by them. He just doesn't seem independent enough to have become that divergent from them.
Love their husband? Oh, yeah. You got to teach them. Because sometimes husbands are kind of hard to love, right? Yeah. To be discreet, chaste.
Yeah, you're saying that one a little personal there, ain't you, Kent? Notice that wedding ring's still gone.
Keepers at home, good, obedient to their husbands. Not allowed to say that on the air. That the word of God be not blasphemed. Proverbs 31. It's the traits of a perfect woman. She has strength and dignity. She has wisdom, generosity. Here they are. Who can find a virtuous woman? The heart of her husband to safely trust in her. Can your husband trust you? She will do him good and not evil all the days of his life. She worketh willingly with her hands. You work.
Thank you. Yes, Pat Malone. That's the person Kent got the majority of his shtick from. I always forget the name.
Willingly, ladies, teach your daughters how to do that. She riseth while it is yet night. You get up early and fix breakfast for the folks, or you sleep in till noon. She stretcheth out her hands to the poor. She's generous. Her husband's known in the gates.
I mean, people can cook their own food, Kent. I don't know. This just all is going to be is bitching about, traditional bullshit, gender stereotypes and the like, gender role stereotypes and stuff, which have their origins and in theory could have their place, but in practice don't. Insofar as anyone can do anything within reason, it's just commanding women to do stuff because patriarchal bullshit. Name of the game in the Bible. It's one of the problems with Abrahamic faith in general is that it's always patriarchal and it permeates society far deeper than people realize. It's intrinsically tied to, I hate to sound like some kind of feminist here, but patriarchal society, which I think in a lot of ways in modern feminism is overblown on what is and isn't. But at the same rate, it's undeniable that things are still man-centered in some way or another. And I'm pretty sure this is used as part of the justification for that as modern Western culture developed over the past, millennia.
See, a godly woman will make a famous husband. Yeah, okay. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. Do you speak kindly? Is it intelligent what comes out of your mouth? I don't know. Read Proverbs.
It's not intelligent what comes out of your mouth.
31. Mother-daughter lookalikes. What kind of example are you? So anyway, happy.
Boy, Kent's really been searching these moms and daughters that look alike. That ain't creepy. Nope, not at all. Also another great freeze frame. I'm sure Kent's search history also involves step-siblings stuck in dryer or something.
Birthday. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Okay? How many of you?
Hey, it's some mama's birthdays out there. Statistically has to be. Quite a few of them.
You had a mother. Anybody? Look at that.
Define mother. Because that creates the criteria on whether one raises their hands or not.
Anybody have two mothers? No, just one mother, one father. Huh?
I could go somewhere with that, but I won't.
Okay. Kind of the way it works, okay? Come watch our cows or sheep or any of our animals around here. Let's explain it to you. Okay.
I'm Ken Hovind, and I'm a homophobic piece of shit, Hovind.
See, we're open for free. You can join our 777 club. Say, I like what you guys are doing. I want to help you stay open for free. Call Bobby. Where's Bobby? Back in the back row there. 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1, or email her, Dr. Dino Secretary. Okay? There's our website, drdino.com. Open for 9.03 years now for free.
Hey, super chat from Laura. Fun fact. The guy who wrote Proverbs 31, not Solomon, by the way, wrote it about his mother, not his wife. Interesting. Very interesting.
We want to see lives change. Get our video series, our series on what on earth is about to happen. I mentioned we've been here 9 years. We just now are starting to consider advertising. We can rent that sign and...
Oh no, step pastor, I'm stuck on the zip line. Nice.
Get altogether 4 different spots to put up banners and billboards for $500 a month, all 4 of them. So we're praying about that. This was right across from Walmart. Probably the most trafficked place in Monroeville.
Yeah, right across from Walmart would be the most trafficked place. Oh man, we need to pool money together and rent one of those signs. That'd be great.
See, so if you want to help us with that, get a hold of Bobby, 855 Big Dino, extension 1. Okay? And let's see what else we got here. Today, Mother's Day.
Good point. Ken's kids do have 3 stepmoms.
The first. Then July 6th, we're going up to Noah's Ark, Ken Ham's Noah's Ark in Kentucky. Want to join us up there? The atheists are having a rally. We're going to go up there and try to talk some common sense into them. Might not do it, but you try at least. Our ministry is straight north of Pensacola, 70 miles in the little town of Lenox, Alabama. You guys found it this morning, didn't you? Visitors here. Ed and Judy visiting today. I said,
yeah, GPS is a wonderful thing. Here he goes, his open letter to Donnie Boy. Fuck, Donald Trump doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about anyone but himself.
I said, well, how'd you hear about us? He said, we've been following you for years. I said, so has the KGB, the IRS, the FBI, the Gestapo. Didn't I? They're all following me, brother.
KGB and the Gestapo. You were born in 1953, Kent. The Gestapo ceased to exist after 45, along with everything else that constituted all practical existence of Nazi Germany. Are you trying to make a joke about the Stasi? Because the Stasi had more important things to do than to follow your dumbass. They were paying attention to people betraying the great nation of the Deutschland Democratic Republic because, listening to radio signals from across the border or, eating hot dogs the wrong way was high treason. I'm not even joking about that. The craziest stuff would be investigated because they didn't know what would be, and they thought everything might happen to be a coded signal. There's a story in some documentary I was watching of some guy who got hassled because instead of 1 hot dog on his lunch break, he ordered 2, and they thought it was a signal to somebody since he was in Berlin and happened to be near the border. East Germany's pretty fascinating. More fascinating than Kent, but I'm not an East Germany channel. You got East Germany Explained for that one. Instead, I'm here watching this ass clown. What was the point again? Oh, right, he said something stupid. Go figure. Sorry, I'm rambling.
Listen, if you want to help, I did on February 1st on all our channels. Go back and watch that show. Open letter to Donald Trump. Please share that with everybody you know. Let's fix this weaponized Justice Department that came after me and gave me 9 years of unjust incarceration in prison.
You deserve double that.
Post a link to all the channels that you find calling me a tax protester. Some of you like to sit at home and play with the computer all day anyway. Google Kent Hovind tax protester and then post a link to that.
Says the guy who spends all day making PowerPoint slides.
February 1st show we did. You have to watch it. Okay. Anyway, we got 140 acres.
Oh, yeah. I watched the whole thing, Kent. You didn't say shit.
Amazing place up here. Bring a group, youth group, scouts group, Awanas, bird watchers. People just come from all over to see this place. And we'll give you guys the tour afterwards. Okay, let's see here. Now I want to get to slide number 1838. Enter. Psalm 106. Praise ye the Lord.
Putin wants to shut down DVD 5. Yes.
Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he's good. His mercy endureth forever. That phrase appears in the Bible a whole bunch of times. His mercy endures forever. Praise God for his mercy. How many of you were glad God's merciful, didn't give you what you deserve? Who can utter the mighty acts of the Lord? Who can show forth all his praise? Blessed are they that keep judgment, and he that doeth righteousness.
Just as a heads up, from what I've seen of this since I slightly pre-watched, I don't think this gets unhinged at all. I think it's actually a pretty straightforward Bible thing. So feel free to, Laura, you're going to correct his misinterpretations on stuff. Everyone else, feel free to joke and act stupid, and I'm just going to mock Bible verses during this. because that's the default for a Sunday stream if Kent doesn't go into some sort of unhinged rant about something. But who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised.
At all times. His mercy endureth forever. Found in the Bible quite a few times. His mercy endureth forever. 41 verses have that phrase in there. Okay. Who can utter his can? Blessed are they that keep his judgment, that doeth righteousness at all times. Is it your goal in life to just live righteously at all times? It ought to be. Remember me.
No. I just do what I do. If you want to apply some subjective meaning to it, okay, but that's irrelevant in the grand scheme. So, fuck off. Sounds like some behavior control there.
Me, O Lord, with the favor that thou bearest unto thy people, O visit me with thy salvation, that I may see the good of thy chosen, that I may rejoice in the gladness of thy nation, that I may glory with thine inheritance. God, would you remember me so that I can do these things? I want to see what good you're doing on the planet. We have sinned with our fathers.
Well, if your deity actually existed and they did a single damn thing you'd expect them to, you would see some good. But it seems like they're a fucking dimwit, worthless father who went out to get a pack of smokes and never came back. At best, that describes your God.
We have committed iniquity. We've done wickedly. Or David confessing, Lord, our nation is wicked. We deserve your judgment. Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. And when God got them out of Egypt, 10 plagues on Pharaoh. Go back and read Exodus about that.
Pharaoh. God, I hate that.
They remembered not the multitude.
Also, yes, you just had to beg a big snort right after that.
To thy mercies, but provoked him at the sea, even at the Red Sea. God led them out all the way across the desert, got right to the Red Sea. Oh no, what do we do now? We can't get across. Pharaoh's coming. Oh God. And they, of course, you always blame the leader when things go wrong. Nevertheless, he saved them.
Well, yeah, it's kind of their job to lead. They're in control. If he's not in control, then, or she, if the leader, they are not in control, then what kind of leader are they? That's how organized structure works in these kinds of hierarchies. In other words, don't blame Hovind.
For his name's sake, that he might make his mighty power to be known. He rebuked the Red Sea also. It was dried up. He led them through the depths as through the wilderness. So on my video number 7, if you don't have that, I'll cover just a little.
So is this just saying that someone made the sea moist? What were you petting the seabed and got it just right, and then things got a little hot and heavy? I mean, what you trying to say there, buddy?
Little freight part of that now for a fraction. Did they really cross the Red Sea? Why don't they find evidence of an army drowning down there? Oh, they did. Okay. Exodus 14. He said, go encamp by the sea. Remember, God's leading them with a cloud. These are slaves. They've never been out of Egypt. They don't know where they're going. They're following Moses, and he's following a cloud. And they'd led them right up into a trap, they thought. No, it's all part of the plan. And Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. God said, lift up your rod. It's going to be dry ground, not muddy. It's going to be dry ground. And the waters were a wall unto them on the right hand and left. And the Egyptians pursued and went into the midst of the sea. And it came to pass that the Lord took off the chariot wheels. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh.
Oh, so now the wheels were magically removed, and then everyone was murdered. Okay.
There remained not so much as one. Entire army wiped out. He turned the sea into dry land, it says in Psalm 66. So this is Egypt way down here. So this region of the world has what this part here is where the Red Sea comes up and splits into 2 parts, the Gulf of Aqaba and the Gulf of Suez, where a lot of fighting going on over there because of the morons. Okay. If you look at the world.
Yes. No hate like Christian love.
World history, the Bible teaches God made the world about 6,000 years ago. There was a big flood 4,400 years ago. Got to point the other way. And then Jesus came 2,000 years ago. This is our timeline behind me, and I use it all through my chart. if we expand this part right here, you see, God led Abraham
Zoom, enhance, contrast, zoom, enhance.
to start a whole new nation. They ended up a couple hundred years later, his grandkids going down to Egypt, became slaves, and then Moses led them out. Okay, right there, Moses led them out of Egypt. They're right there near the Red Sea, but it took Pharaoh's army 3 days to catch them. Well, they didn't cross the Gulf of Suez, where the Suez Canal is. They went all the way across the Sinai Peninsula and crossed over here. Remember, they don't know where they're going. They're following a cloud. And over there,
Lots of people follow clouds. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. It's a joke about vaping and or Mary Jane.
the Jabal Allah, Mount Sinai, is in Arabia. It's not in the Sinai Peninsula. There's a dry riverbed that leads right up to the place where Moses and the people were trapped. If you look at it from a satellite view, see that little spot right there? That's actually a gigantic beach right there. So they came out, walked down through this crooked, called a wadi, a dry riverbed, and ended up stuck right there on the beach. And I'm sure there was griping and complaining about his leadership. Some thought Moses lost his mind as well as his way. So they ended up stuck on this beach, and they heard Pharaoh's army coming behind them. So, oh no, what do we do now? What all the people do? Blame the leader. Brother Meister, you've been in the ministry, 63 years? Don't they blame the leader when everything goes wrong?
Isn't it a little weird this place has like two preachers? Like, you got Meister doing his own thing that's related but not, but Ken's still in charge. Like, is that normal? Am I just missing something here, or does that just seem weird?
That's right, okay. So they end up down here stuck on this beach. I'm mad at God. I've tried to follow you and this so-called leader who claims you sent him. Now look at the mess we're in, God. We're all going to die. There's no way out. Well, there's a way.
Welcome to the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
Out across the Red Sea. It's only 9 miles. You going to swim? Oh, no. Make a way. Here's the beach. At the south end of the beach, years ago, Ron Wyatt, he was a friend of mine. He died a couple of years ago. We went up and saw his widow and their museum in Spring Hill, Tennessee, a few weeks ago. You got to stop there and see it, south of Nashville. Okay. There they found a pillar. Great big stone pillar. So they dragged it out, stood it up, had some equipment there. There's a Gilbert buddy of mine on top of the pillar. They found another pillar on the other side. It was inscribed by
Deviant. I do not have the patience to go back and then jump back ahead. Oh, okay. 13 minutes exactly. I can remember that. I'm trying to talk about this right here. Got to give it a second to catch up, Deviant. Let's see. Nothing about DAL is normal. Nothing. Yep, you're right. And can't do something stupid again today. Surprisingly, no, Otaku. It looks like it's a relatively normal sermon. But yeah, Deviant, let me know if this is the image you want. Because I feel like I'm kind of burning time here. My logic, Biden shouldn't be blamed when things go wrong. Exactly. Oh, well, true, yeah. Claiming the Red Sea crossing is real is something stupid, but I mean stupid even for hovent. All right, Deviant, I'm about to pop on back and us continue, so hopefully you've got what you need out of this. We are jumping back ahead to continue the stream.
where they crossed the Red Sea. And right through there, how deep is the water right in there? Well, let's see. There's a natural underwater land bridge. See, Ron Wyatt received incredible criticism. This guy said, we took 2 trips to the Red Sea with the latest sound.
Okay, cool. Glad I jumped to the correct one and you were able to verify what you needed. He's talking about the area on the other side of the Saudi Peninsula. Yeah, cool.
Sounding equipment to carry out depth soundings. The data has proved the presence of an underwater pathway without doubt. Reports and pictures of the first trip can be accessed. I don't know, anchorstone.com. Can somebody check that? Is that still a website? Anchorstone.com. This is my old slides, okay? Our data does match the...
Really, Ken? They're your old slides. I couldn't tell. Also, implying you have new slides? Let's just end. Ken Hovind produced a new slide. It's not a copy of an old one.
The Israeli bathymetric chart, and I would appreciate a public. It does. Okay. Aaron said that. So the Egyptian army drowned at the bottom there. The Bible says it was a wall unto them. I've always wondered, I wonder if any fish fell out. That's the only time in history a fish could fall out of the water, isn't it? I don't mean jump out, I mean fall out. Yeah, that's a different story. Anyway, so Moses gets them across. God.
Hey, I'm not going to lie, that's an interesting thought as well. Did fish just go swimming and then suddenly, suddenly all air? Bloop, bloop. That'd be kind of funny.
God says, stretch out your arm, the rod, and they did, and the fair army drowned. Well, they went scuba diving down there. They found.
Oh, no, Tyler. Remember, you don't base it off Linux. You base everything off Pensacola. So it's the Red Sea, 15,000 miles east of Pensacola, Florida. Yep.
Rib cages. They found chariot wheels, 4, 6, and 8 spoke chariot wheels. Joseph, we got to get that interview we did with Mary Nell, because she said that's the only dynasty that had all 3 types of wheels. 4, 6, and 8 spoke wheels. Huh. In the hieroglyphs, they find all that stuff. Anyway, they crossed, ended up over here in Arabia.
Yes, that's why the meticulous Egyptian records mention nothing of this. That's why. Because it totally happened. It's like all the meticulous Roman records and no mention of no Jesus.
There's Mount Sinai. The Bible says Mount Sinai is in Arabia. The top of it is still black where it burned. We got a piece of it in our museum, a piece of the black rock from the top of Mount Sinai. Okay. Anyway, back to Psalm. He saved them from the hand of him that hated them and redeemed them from the hand of the enemy. And the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left. Then believed they his words. They sang his praise. So Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its.
Well, I still never saw it because I do not do religious-related stuff at all. Even as a kid, I was just like, nope. By kid, I was like middle school range, so I wasn't quite a kid anymore. But yeah, I've heard, and from what I've seen of it, that film is an incredible piece of animation. Like, top notch. I just wish it was a better story.
Strength.
Because I have a problem with when religious stuff is made into works of fiction like that as a way of legitimizing it. To me, that like I've always felt that a little problematic. But that is just me, though. Others may feel that way. I don't know.
And all the Egyptians drowned. Exodus chapter 14. There remained not so much as one of them. But Israel walked upon dry land. Yeah. Not just muddy. Dry land, okay? And the waters were a wall unto them. So the Lord saved Israel, and they saw the Egyptians dead on the shore. See, these people have been slaves for a long time. And it takes something like this to get them mentally, finally free. Some of you are enslaved to maybe.
Yeah, that KD ratio is fucking brutal, man. You'd almost think he was cheating.
A drug or alcohol or something. And it's going to take a while for you to get free in your mind. You might get your body free for a while, rehab or something, but to get your mind free.
Yeah, like getting your mind free of the ultimate drug, religion, self-delusion. That is the most dangerous thing, is self-delusion. That'll hit all the right spots without any kind of external stimuli. You are your own drug. That's terrifying.
Like, I don't need that. They saw the Egyptians dead on the shore. Okay. They soon forgot his works. They waited not for.
I didn't know we were suddenly talking about the Yom Kippur War, but okay.
His counsel, but lusted exceedingly in the wilderness and tempted God in the desert. He gave them their request, but sent leanness unto their souls. My preacher, when I was growing up, Bethel Baptist Church, Pekin, Illinois, Lauren Dawson, he preached for an entire year. Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. Every sermon on this verse 15. I was a brand new Christian, 1969. Pastor Dawson, Bethel Baptist Church, preached on this verse every Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night for a year. Tom Pisano.
Like Kent can tell the difference between things that are satire and things that are real. If this man wasn't already so full of his own bullshit, he's the kind of guy who'd think Weekly World News was a real publication. Well, let me tell you, we're at a stage now where I wish Weekly World News was real. You know, Weekly World News, Batboy got elected Pope? Hell yeah. That's the only news you can trust. Weekly World News.
My best friend, he's been pastor of Christ Bible Church in Peoria for 30 years. I called, left a message this morning on their church answering machine. Hey, Tom, give me a call. I'm going to make you world famous today. But listen, if you stop in and see him, don't believe anything he tells you about me as a kid. Don't believe nothing. Okay. But tell him to come on down. Come on down.
Yeah, Christopher Holt, taking Kent's dates from the flood to the Exodus using his own calculation of population growth, we'd only have 60,000 people on Earth. Very, very true. This has been a recurring problem for basically every model of pre and post flood, Earth history. Just using that and going with literalist interpretations, yeah, you run into problems like that. Thanks for bringing it up because it's something that can't be ignored. How are you going to have 2 million slaves if the world population is only mathematically 60,000 at that point, based on their crazy ass calculations? It's wild stuff.
And visit us here and visit Christ Bible Church in Peoria. Tell them I said hi. Drop $50 or $100 offering plate. Pastor Dawson's sermon titled 150 Sermons in a Row was they got what they wanted, but they lost what they had. Based on that verse. You know, it's not always good to get what you want. How many of you parents had to stop your kids from getting something they wanted because it would probably kill them, right? He gave them their request, but sent leanness unto their soul. Henry Morris did a great commentary on this. The Henry Morris Defender Study Bible. I've worn out 4 or 5 of them. I highly recommend. We sell that on our bookstore. The Henry Morris Defender Study Bible. He's got great footnotes in there. I don't agree with all of them, but he's really good on most stuff. He said,
well, I mean, it can't be much different from Kent Hovind saying the same shit over and over for the past 30 plus.
This sad and disturbing verse recalling a tragic event in the history of Israel.
And Soot, I just saw your post on Discord. Yes, we should.
Provides a sober reminder that we need to be unselfish in our prayers. When the Lord taught his disciples how to pray, he taught them, pray each day for your daily bread. See, we don't want that. We want a whole year's worth of bread. We want to have 50 million in the bank, you know. No, God said daily bread.
Yeah, that's why you didn't pay taxes. So, you could just have your daily bread, not your multiple millions in the bank. Harvard. I'm running a ministry. I'm trying to change lives, mainly my own. I got to live better than everybody else.
Yeah. But that was only material. That the only material item that's mentioned in the Bible to pray for. Just pray for your bread. The Lord indeed wonderfully provided daily bread for the children of Israel in the wilderness every day for 40 years. It was miraculous bread from heaven. But they weren't happy. They demanded someone.
Hey, Otaku, we will not speak such blasphemy about Weekly World News. That's the good stuff around these parts.
Provide meat for them. And he caused a leanness into their soul. They gorged themselves.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. God did all this for them, but Moses takes a John up Mount Sinai and they start worshiping a golden calf. I leave you guys for 5 minutes and this is what happens? Fucking ridiculous.
On meat, which caused a great plague, and many died. The word for leanness refers to physical emaciation.
Hey there, Justin.
Scrawny, shriveled up. But the spiritual leanness,
scrawny and shriveled up like Hovind's brain,
was far more devastating. This is Henry Morris footnotes here.
I just thought about it. When Hovind passes, are they going to embalm him and leave him out lying in state permanently like Vladimir Lenin or Kim Il-sung at Genesis Baptist Church, just right there in the middle, or maybe in the middle of the Science Center? And here's the body of our dear leader, Kent Hovind. You must kiss the Hovind's feet. Blessed he who kisses the corpse's feet. Oh man, I could see him fucking doing that too. I could totally see it.
God may or may not be pleased to bless a believer with material prosperity. You may be rich. You may have a nice car, a nice house. You may not. He might bless you with all that. That should never be the theme of your prayer. Paul says, having food and raiment, let us be there with content. They who desire to be rich fall into temptation and a snare, into many foolish and hurtful lusts. The church at Laodicea, typical of the many evangelistical churches, is an example of this danger. This church could boast, I am rich.
Hold up, bro. What you say? What you say?
Many foolish and hurtful lusts.
All right, hang on. We're going slow mode here, so it's drunk Hoven time. I just want to make sure he said what I think he said.
Church at Laodicea, typical of the many evangelistical churches.
Evangelistical churches. Wow. Okay. I guess the Holy Trinity is Oscar Ray and Shinji up there, huh?
Is an example of this danger. This church could boast, I am rich and increased with goods. I have need of nothing. Unaware that she
I spoke of dear leader. Mark has arrived. Hey, buddy. How you doing over there?
was lean and of soul, wretched, miserable, poor, and blind, and naked. We should pray for our daily bread. But the main burden of the prayer should be, thy kingdom come.
Oh my God. That could be a whole sub-series in itself. Give us this day our daily hovering. I don't know why that amuses me. Just like little 1 minute things. Honestly, that's what Claude and Big Bad Mama do, is just random clips all the time. That's perfect. It's our daily hovering. Oh, lol cows. It's the one thing they're good for. Milking for laughs.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Anyway, Proverbs, 1 Timothy, he said, gain is godliness. Some people think, oh, if I live godly, I'll get rich and drive a new car. And that's not how you determine godliness. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Just be content with what you have. That little Toyota, 320,000.
Be content with what you simultaneously work to rebuild what you had. Well, you're constantly blowing money on new projects here, there, and everywhere. Can't you just be grateful for what you had, Kent?
I love it. It's great, isn't it? You drove it to what, Mobile yesterday or 2 days? Yeah. Yeah. 50 miles to the gallon. I love it. Toyota Prius. The guy broke the world's record. He drove a Prius from Los Angeles to New York and averaged 93 miles per gallon for the trip. Yeah. But you got to drive carefully. I'm not about to do that. Okay, let's see. We brought nothing into this world, and it's certain we can carry nothing out. That's the way it's going. You came here with nothing, you're going to leave with nothing, I can promise you, okay? You won't ever see a checkbook and a bank account stuffed in a coffin, okay? Having food and raiment, let us be there with content. They that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare. The love of money, root of all evil. Some people cover.
That's why you have so much money, Kent, because you're evil.
After money, they got to have money, and it pierces themselves through. See, they got what they wanted, but they lost what they had. God gave them their request, but he sent leanness to their soul. Psalm 106, verse 15. Eve wanted that apple, didn't she? She got it.
It wasn't an apple.
What'd you lose?
Very Eurocentric way to look at things, Kent. Then again, you're a firm believer of white Jesus.
Paradise, got pain in childbearing. Now Adam's going to be the boss of the family. That's a curse in some families. Right? They got what they wanted. They lost what they had. Some of the politicians following Moses wanted to exalt themselves and take over Moses' job. They said in Numbers 16, Moses, you take too much upon yourself. Hey, we're smart men. We'll take your job. They got the spotlight in the news for a few minutes. but they lost their lives and their families, and they didn't get to go into the promised land. Read the story in Numbers 16. They got what they wanted. 10 of the spies wanted security more than God's will. 12 spies went into Canaan. They said, man, it's a beautiful land. God, it's flowing with milk and honey, like you said. But 10 of them said, there's giants. We can't go. Wait a minute. God said go. Joshua and Caleb voted, yeah, let's go. 10 of them said, no, we're scared of the giants. So they didn't go. They got what they wanted.
I want to go to the promised land, Mr. Moses, but I'm too scared.
They didn't go. They lost God.
There's giants over there.
God's blessings and had to wander for 40 years in the wilderness. They got what they wanted, lost what they had. Let's see, David wanted Bathsheba, didn't he? Saw her taking a bath over the fence and said, well, I'll take it. David, you got 17 wives already. You think another one's going to make a difference? They all got the same equipment, David, okay? He got her for one night. He lost his joy, his clean conscience, his peace. His baby died. His son Absalom turned against him. He lost his kingdom. He got what he wanted. And some of you are still, you want to get that one more high on drugs or something, okay? You want to get one more.
I want to get one more Jesus high. I got to do one more. Ken Hovind has to chase the debate high. He's got to do 1,000 debates before he dies.
Drunk one more time. One more woman. They got
yeah, one more woman. Like you want one more wife. Mister, I don't have a ring on anymore.
what they wanted, lost what they had. Amnon wanted to sleep with his sister Tamar. Read that story, 2 Samuel 13. He got her.
Yep. Good quality Bible story.
He lost his life over that deal. See, who else got what they want? Pastor Dawson preached every 150 sermons, different Bible characters using this theme. Yeah, they got what they wanted. Absalom wanted his dad's kingdom. I'm taking over, Dad. He led a rebellion, and he got it for a short time. He lost his fellowship with his dad and later lost his life. He had long, beautiful hair. The hair got caught in a tree while he's riding a
Give me a head with hair. Long, beautiful hair.
mule under the tree. He's hanging there by his hair. And they came and shot him full of darts. They got what they wanted. They lost what they had. Jonah wanted to run from God's calling. God said, Jonah, go to Nineveh. Went the other way. I don't want to go. I'm going to go my way. Don't come.
Yeah, from my understanding of the story, they pretty much immediately screw up before they've even got kids, so.
A couple of days in Wales Seminary, he learned his lesson.
Now, yeah, this is wild right here. I was watching for this little bit and a bit earlier.
He lost his life. The Bible does not say he lived in the whale's belly. I think he died.
This is the first time I've ever heard anyone from a theological standpoint, like someone who's not, talking shit about the Bible, go with this route. Where he actually died, but of course, magically revived because lots of people resurrect in the Bible. It's a story full of necromancy.
And then God resurrected him, smelling like whale puke. And when he walked into town, everybody said, we better listen to this guy. He's been through something. Yeah, okay. They got what they wanted, lost what they had. Judas wanted that silver, didn't he? He got it. Lost his fellowship with Jesus, lost his peace, lost his life.
Yeah, and which variation of the story is correct? Because in some of them, he trips and his guts spill everywhere. In another one, he hangs himself, sometimes before, sometimes after buying the farm or something like that. I don't know. It's all really complicated. Which version's correct? Because you talk about there not being contradictions, yet that story pretty well contradicts itself. From my understanding, I don't know. I read better fiction than that. Actually, I tend not to like fiction. I prefer nonfiction. So the Bible's right the fuck out.
People do amazing things for silver and gold, as if that's going to make them happy. He lost his soul. Acts 1 is a strange verse. Acts 1:25. It says, Judas went to his own place.
So his butt?
A special place in hell for that guy.
Oh, like there's a special place for you. Good to know.
Some people wanted that new car. They got it. They lost half their paycheck. They wanted that huge house. Now they lost 3/4 of their paycheck.
Now, see, that right there is just weird. How is that losing your paycheck? I mean, what is the money for if not to be spent on things you need? And if you are fortunate enough to afford it, fancier things that you want as variations of things you need. I don't get it, Kent. So, by your logic, you building all this stuff at DAL is squandering your donations. They should just be sitting there being hoarded. Which is it? Do you spend money or do you not spend money? Or is no one supposed to have any money? Which would be fine, except that's how things work. Because the only alternative is pure socialism, straight up pure textbook communism under one of the definitions of it that you would certainly be against, and even I, as a relatively staunch socialist, am against, because nobody wins in that variation of stuff. It's like an ant colony at that point. So we're not going to entertain that further. Pick a side, Kent.
Teens running away from home. They got what they wanted, freedom from mom's rules. But they lost a roof over your head, somebody else paying utility bills. I remember one of my students when I was teaching high school. He said, Brother Hovind, I'm sick of my parents telling me what to do. I'm going to join the Marines. He was not a genius. Okay. Some wanted to get away from her husband. She got what she wanted. They both lost.
Ooh, burn.
God, if my husband's wrong, let him die. And if I'm wrong, let me become a widow. I think that's the same thing. Okay. Some people want badly to make themselves believe the universe created itself without.
Here we go. Here we go. It took all of 25 minutes, but here he is at his evolution shit. Can't go one time without bringing it up, without going into his rants.
God, you want so badly to believe in that stupid Big Bang Theory, don't you? You can get it. You can actually make yourself believe that. Might lose your soul in eternity. They soon forgot his works. They waited not for his counsel, but lusted exceedingly in the wilderness and tempted God. He gave them their request, but sent leanness unto their soul. They got what they wanted. They lost what they had. Hey, be careful what you want for. You might get it. They envied Moses also in the camp, and Aaron, the saint of the Lord. And interesting, Aaron was Moses' older.
Yeah, seriously. Why would God punish Judas? The Jesus plot wouldn't have worked without him. Judas was a key part of the plan. Exactly. It's like the hell concept. It's like, okay, hang on. Satan's a good guy then for punishing the people that God has deemed bad. They're working together. They're buddies. None of it makes any sense.
Brother. And God called the younger brother to lead the people. I bet it was a little tough on Aaron, being the big brother, to follow his little brother. God called the little one to be the leader. The earth opened up and swallowed Dathan and Abiram and covered the company of Abiram. Numbers chapter 16. They rebelled against Moses, and Moses, the Lord said, Moses, you tell the people, I'm going to show them who the leader is. I'm going to make something brand new that's never happened before.
The leader is good. The leader is great. We surrender our will as of this date.
Tell them, I'm going to make the earth open up and swallow them. And all those guys and their families and their tents and everything, their sheep, everything. Earth opened up, swallowed them, closed behind them. Read number 16, read the story. And a fire was kindled in their company, and the flame burned up the wicked. They made a calf in Horeb and worshiped the molded image. Oh, can you imagine worshiping a cow? How dumb do you have to be?
I don't know, Kent. Y'all seem to be pretty obsessed with some carpenter.
You'd have to go to college for years to be that stupid. They changed their glory.
Kent? Did you forget what you were talking about? You're talking about the idolatry that I think Otaku was the one who brought up earlier when Moses went up on the hill. Now all I can think of is the Army of Lovers song Crucified, since like Moses on the Hill is a lyric in that song by John Pierre. Anyway, rather be listening to that at max volume right now. Anyway, Yeah, you're not talking about college and evolution and science and reality. You're talking about a story from your own book. That college has nothing to do with it. Your joke is terrible, and I should know. I'm the master of garbage jokes.
Into the similitude of an ox that eats grass. What's wrong with you guys?
Gotta admit, similitude is a new word for me. I like it.
They forgot, Old English, forget God their Savior, which had done great things in Egypt, wondrous works in the land of Ham, and terrible things by the Red Sea. Therefore, he said he would destroy them, had not Moses his chosen, stood before him. God was going to wipe them all out. Moses got between God and the people, said, Lord, give them another chance. You can read the story in Exodus chapter 32. The Lord said to Moses, get down, the people have corrupted themselves, they're worshiping a cow. He turned aside quickly and made a molten calf. I'm going to kill them all. Okay?
Yeah, great Metallica album, Kill 'Em All.
Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and I may consume them, and I'll make of thee a great nation. I'll make you, Moses, all your kids and grandkids will be the nation of Israel. Moses besought the Lord and said, Lord, why does your wrath wax hot against thy people? You brought them out of Egypt with great power. The Egyptians are going to say, oh, God couldn't get the people into the land. These are a stubborn people, and they still are today, by the way, okay? But they're still God's people. They're not godly people, but they're God's people. So we're supposed to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Anyway, we'll take up Psalm 106, verse 24 tomorrow night. Any questions or comments here, brother? So be careful what you want for. You might get it. Got to have one more Coke, and one more hamburger, and one more, then when you weigh 800 pounds and you can't roll over in bed, you might get what you want and lose what you had.
Well, you all board the DAL short bus and take the 20-mile trip to Bruton to eat at the Chinese buffet. As you complain about money and things costing too much, you all drive 20 miles for Chinese food. Now, don't get me wrong, I love me some buffets. The typical, American Chinese buffet, quote unquote. I like it. But yeah. Just gotta remind people you complain about the cost of people being at DAL all the time. But what do I know? I'm just some dumb atheist who actually works for his money. You just do this shit day in, day out.
Flexibility, health, etc. Okay, let's pray. Lord, thank you for letting us.
I forgot it's Sunday, so we got these stupid ass prayers. Blah, blah, blah. It's all fucking bullshit. Let's hear what stupid shit he has to end with.
Your children, Lord. Help us to be careful what we pray for. Lord, help us win souls to you. Help us to invest our life changing lives for your kingdom now. Guide us in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, see you tomorrow night. Psalm 106. We'll finish it up. Thank you.
Oh, good. It's over. It's over. And we made it in under 1 hour. Wow. That was incredible. Guess I'm getting better at this. Or there just wasn't much in this one. But yeah, that was ʰᵒᵛᶦᵈ's video for today. It had just wrapped up as we started, so now we've come kind of full circle. Yeah, it stayed mostly on topic, on subject, which was a plus. Didn't leave us too much funny to talk about, but it is what it is. We got another little slice into ʰᵒᵛ's theology. That's why I do these, when it's his actual like Bible reading videos, I will do these off and on. Is so we can see how he actually is as a preacher when he's actually talking about the Bible and talking theology. Because he's an interesting case in that realm as well. Very unique case. But sorry, the yawn fest is hitting me, and I hit my mic. Of course I did. I don't really have anything else to add. little bit later, we are going to have a bit of a comedy stream because I found a video that is it's compilation of things that'll definitely be fun to watch and react to. It's going to push a lot of limits, but it'll be funny. So be on the lookout for that here shortly. Any case,